Hello everybody and welcome back to Building Tutorials. And today I am going to be starting a brand new build. So last episode I worked on this brand new bakery over here, which as you can see we've got a customer here who's looking at buying this cake. But this is the new bakery where you can get your bread. We've got cakes in the back over here. We've got, looks like we've got our chef back here. We've got ingredients coming here, so all the stuff comes in. And then we've got the little production line here where we make all the stuff. And then over on this side, I was actually thinking about adding one more thing to the bakery. I was actually getting some ovens because we don't have any way of like baking the stuff. And I realized this, like, after looking at last episode, is I was trying to figure out, like, what kind of items I could put here. And then I thought about it. It's like, I don't have any ovens. How are we going to bake this stuff? So this chest right here, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of all this. And I'm going to put in some furnaces right here, just so we can bake the stuff that we actually make. So right over here, we've got the furnaces. We've also got smokers and also blast furnace that you can use as well. I'm not sure which one looks best. We'll put all of them down. I kind of like the blast furnace, but it's not really meant for cooking food. The smokers are mostly used for making meat, which we're not really doing here. So I think the furnace is probably going to be best. So I'm just going to put 3 furnaces there. And I might as well get them some coal as well. Okay, so I've got some coal blocks here. I'm just going to put all of these in. And there we go. You now have coal so you can make your bread. Because before we didn't have any way of cooking the stuff. So now that that's done, let me show you what I'm going to be building today. So right over here, I've got this little like tiny fountain in the middle of the village here. So that I can kind of display the bell. And I wanted to upgrade this. So this is just the standard little tiny fountain that I've put in. And I want to build this up a little bit. I want to make it a little bit bigger, and I want to make it fancier so it looks a lot better. But to do that, I need some more space, and I don't know if that's going to be enough, or I might have to remove some buildings. But I can't get rid of any of these because they're part of the post office, and I don't want to ruin that. There's also like stuff underground that I got to watch out for, and I kind of like having all of these buildings here. The only thing I could possibly move is this farm. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I could put it like over here and then put the fountain here. I also could move this yard over a little bit as well because all that space over there isn't really getting used. I want to keep it in this general area. So I'm going to go and grab a torch real quick and map out where this is going to be. So I'm going to start it kind of like right here on the edge, but this isn't going to be the start of the fountain. This is going to be like kind of like a path that goes around the fountain. So we'll have one block of a path that'll go to probably about here, but I want to extend it to this block. And then that way I can move this entire yard over one block. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to build this fence right here, and I'm going to move this over to this side. So this is going to be the new yard area right here. This fence is going to attach to this side now. So that way, there's a little bit more yard, and it gives me one extra block over here to put the fountain in. So I'll go ahead and put that down there. And then this over here is also going to have to get moved over. But I think I'm going to put it right here instead. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some of the farmland here, and I'm just going to build a small little farm. This is going to be the water block, and then I need to get the wood as well to go around the edge. I could actually move the fountain here. That would give a little bit more space. So you know what? Let's do that. Let's move the fountain to here. I need to make sure I have enough space to put everything in. So this is going to be the new fountain area, which I think is a little bit bigger than this area. It might actually be the same. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of this, because I'm going to be making a brand new fountain that'll hopefully look a lot nicer. Alright, so now that I've got the area all cleared out, it's time to get the blocks. And I kind of like using the quartz, so I'm going to stick with the quartz for this one. So I'm going to grab all the different types of quartz here and see which one will look the best. I think that's all of them. This is all the quartz here. I've also got to get some water buckets, because we're going to need a lot of water. I might even do like some pistons where I can turn the water on and off, but I don't know how I'm going to do the redstone for that. That's going to be a little bit complicated to try and figure that out. But the one thing I do need to figure out is where the path is going to go. So for right now, I'm going to use stone for the path. So I'm just going to go ahead and use some stone blocks here to go around the edge. And this is going to be kind of like the little path that goes around the fountain here. And this might change later on to a different block. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and put in stone as kind of like the little walking path. And then after the stone is done, I can start building the fountain itself. Okay, so now that I've got the ring around here for where I'm going to be storing the water, the next thing I need to do is work on building kind of like a little statue. I want to try and make like a small like villager statue in the middle of here. Now the one thing is this is kind of an odd shape, so hopefully that's not going to cause too many problems. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to use concrete for this. So we've got terracotta or concrete. Concrete, I think, gives a little bit better color. So I'm going to use some of the colors of the villagers. So we'll use this guy as an example. So it looks like he's got some gray shoes, brown pants. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some gray and brown. So I'm going to get the light gray. I think it's going to look best. I've already got the brown. Alright, so I want it to be kind of like 4 blocks. So to do that, I'm going to have to move this around a little bit to get this centered. I might actually put it back 1 more block, because if we're going to have the water coming from the top, I kind of want to have like a bunch of space in the front here for the water to flow. So I'm going to leave 3 blocks of space. I think should be good enough. And the villager's going to go here. Perfect. This guy's back. I can use this guy as a model for the statue. So the next thing I need to do is figure out what color to use the pants. And I think I'm going to use a combination of both the terracotta and the concrete for this, because I think some of the terracotta colors, like maybe the browns and the grays, might look a little bit closer to the color of the villagers. I'm gonna have to trap one of these guys in like a little box over here so I can actually see what they look like. So you know what, let's go and build a small little fence. I'll release them when we're done, but I just need a volunteer to go in here. There we go. We've got, oh, this is our farmer. Perfect. So this is going to be our volunteer. This is going to be the model for the fountain. I could actually use a farmer, which would be really cool. I could put like a little straw hat on top. So I'm going to try that. So I got to figure out which color is best. And this color right here, I think, works. So if I go and stand next to the villager, you can kind of see the color of the block. I think that matches best with their clothes. So I'm going to go and use this. So now I got to figure out how many blocks up I'm going to build this. So we're going to need to do 2 blocks for the shoes. So we're going to do 2 for down here. I'm going to go ahead and say 3 blocks for the legs like that. And then we need to start building the torso, which is going to go right here. So I'm just going to build this up probably about 5 blocks. So there's 5 blocks up like that. So we've got the torso here. And then I need to work on building the head and then the arms. And then we should have the general kind of like shape of the villager. Now the arms is going to be interesting because they always have their arms like crossed in front of them. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna need to put, I think, 4 blocks like this. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side. And then the next thing I need to do is the head. So let's go and see what color best fits. The regular terracotta, I think, does a pretty good job. Alright, so I'm going to go up 6 blocks from here. Alright, so this is 6 blocks up here. This is where the head's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and extend this out 1 block in the front and the back. And then I'm going to fill in this entire area here. And hopefully this will look like a good head. Alright, so there's the head. It looks a little long, so I might have to trim it down a little bit. Let's look at the villager again. Yeah, it's definitely way too tall. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of maybe 1 or 2 blocks. Let's see how good 1 looks like. Alright, that looks a little bit better. So we've got, I think that's now 5 blocks high. I still haven't done the arms. That's going to be the difficult bit. Alright, so this is looking really close to what their arms look like. The only thing is that it looks a little off. Like, there's something missing here. This is close to what it's supposed to look like, but it just doesn't look the same. And it's probably because the villagers are kind of, like, slanted a little bit on, like, a diagonal. And it's really hard to do that with these blocks. That's kind of the best I could do. It kind of looks like the villager's arms. I'll leave it like that for now. I'll probably do a little bit of messing around off camera. See if I can get it to look a little bit better. But for now, I think that looks good. Now, the next thing I need to do is the face. So, for the nose, I'm not sure what block I can use. I could use brown. That looks pretty good. I might need to go like 1 more block like that. You know what? We're going to stick with 2. I think 2 makes it look better. Now for the eyes, we need green eyes. And I also need to put a face in. So I'm going to use the same color here for the face. It's going to go right there. And then I need to get green concrete because I think that's going to be the best. I might have to use quartz. Because this white concrete doesn't look white enough. I might have to use some quartz. So where are their eyes? It's 1 block in. So if I go 1 block in, I'm going to have to do it like this. So I think it goes white and then green. And then I could do this one with the concrete to kind of see the difference. And then I need to go in with the black here for kind of like the little unibrow that they have. And actually extending this up 1 block might make it look a little bit better. So I'm going to put this block back. And let's see how this looks. It looks pretty good. There's a building behind me, so I can't really get further back. You know, this would be really funny. Like, this guy working at the desk just looks out his window and sees a villager. Like, if we go ahead and stand right here. Like, if you're coming to talk to this guy at his desk, you just see that outside. Alright, so I'm going to have to change the arms a little bit to try and make it look a little bit better. But I think for now, this looks really good. The one thing is the nose is supposed to go 1 block higher. So I could move everything down. Let's go and move everything down real quick and see if that makes it look a little bit better. Okay, so I've moved everything down. I think it looks a little bit better. The next thing I need to add is like the straw hat. So I'm going to go ahead and use some hay bales here for that. And kind of just go around. I want to get them facing up. So I'm going to have to build like some blocks around here. Get these to face up. I think that's how it looks like in their hats. I guess I could put them going this way. That might make it look a little bit better. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to have them going on the side like this. So that way you don't have the weird little lines. Because I can use the lines for the next bit. So up here, I'm going to build this 2 blocks up. And this is going to be the little straw hat for the villager. Alright, so there's the straw hat. I think it looks really good. If we go down here, we can look at this guy, and then we look at the hat. I have to kind of fly up for this. The one thing is I could actually add, probably not that color, but I could add kind of like a brown around the edge of the hat. The only thing, if I do this, I might have to raise it up. You know what? That's fine. You know, I'm going to do a quick little ring around the entire hat. So there we go. That's the hat for the villager. I think it looks really good. I still have to add in all of the water. And then I also need to figure out the bottom. You know what? I could actually change the bottom block to be like emeralds. Could be pretty cool. I don't know if this is going to look good, but I feel like having emeralds for the bottom would be like a really cool block because the villagers love their emeralds. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the bottom block here with emeralds. And I might even build this down. So that way I could have stuff on the sides is another thing that I could do. Because I could go down all the way over here. The one thing is that track is right next to here. So I might have to move the track around if I do that. But for now, I'm just going to put in some emeralds just to see what it looks like. I could even use the emerald blocks for the eyes. Could be another cool thing. But I think this looks really nice. Now, with the new textures, like before emerald blocks, I think were just solid green. Now they've kind of got like little lines around them. So it doesn't really look as good as they used to. But I think it's still a pretty neat block to have. I'm kind of liking these arms a little bit more now that I've seen it for a while. But I'm going to see if I can make it look a little bit better. I'm going to work on it off camera. But for now, this is the start to the villager fountain. Next episode, I'm probably going to do a little bit more tweaking to the statue, make it look a little bit better. And then I'm going to add in some water to the fountain. And I also want to add some bells. So I could like hang the bells off of the villager. Could be pretty cool. But you can leave. I don't really need you anymore now that I've got the huge statue. So you can go off, do some farming over there or whatever you want to do. But that's going to be it for today. So I'm going to go and end the episode here. So make sure to leave a like and to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.